Hi, Sil.
Sit. Sit. Good girl. Stay.
How's it going?
Okay. Yep. Yep. Doesn't work.
Hey, at least you got the guard for the screen.
This is Mia.
Yeah, she's a good, cute,
happy
big girl.
to see you.
You are. You're such a cutie.
All right.
All right.
Mia, let's go. Come on. All right. Off.
She's like, today's the big day.
Yeah, I had a big nap today, so
I'm ready. I got plenty of
off,
energy.
Mia. Off.
We're definitely gonna nip that in the bud, girl. All right. Yeah, we'll head out. We'll get settled down. We'll make a little game out of our little orientation, our little setup, and then we'll go through the contract and all the other fun stuff, and then we can dig in.
Mia, let's go. Come on. All right. Off.
Extra excited. She's like, today's the big day.
Yeah, I had a big nap today, so
I'm ready. I got plenty of
off,
energy.
Mia. Off.
We're definitely gonna nip that in the bud, girl.
Please. Good girl.
Now, when you were working on this, how often would she make a mistake a week?
She maybe had 2 or 3 mistakes throughout the week.
Okay. But we're all in pretty low distracting environments, not a whole lot of temptation.
Right.
And that's kind of because we're setting them up for success. Yeah. That's her second loop. This is really good.
Please.
And it's all about these small increments. I mean, in the beginning, just having her on the bed for just a few seconds, and then we ramped it up by hitting the corners, but I mean, you're well on the way to a minute now.
Please. Good girl. Yeah, it's more about training me than training her.
I'd say it's 50-50.
Please. Good girl.
I mean, because that's the thing. We want to create a change
No.
of habit for her, so now guide her right back on.
Please.
Good. And then we'll just do a 2 count, and then you can place and then reward.
Please.
Awesome.
Good girl. 3.
Add a little bit more family involvement to challenge her a little bit when you're working on place especially.
Okay.
So we'll
Place.
set her up. Good. So, something we can keep in mind, as we progress beyond skipping corners and we're starting to work on that static, I want you to think about what you're rewarding for her. So we're already rewarding her for being on the bed. So she's been doing it for a week now. We can start holding her a little bit more accountable and to a higher expectation. So not only is that skipping corners, but once you're in a fixed position further away,
Place.
think about, am I rewarding her for standing? Or am I rewarding her for sitting? Or am I rewarding her for laying down? So something you'll start to notice when you're in one spot and you're not moving around, she already knows I'm not going anywhere. She's just following you and turning around, staying standing in order to follow where she knows the food's going to come from, which is awesome. It really shows that she understands what's going on. But when we're static, she'll be standing in one spot, and at a certain point she goes, you're not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. The first time she lays down, a little bit more food than we would normally give her to let her know this is an even better thing to offer. So once we progress beyond this step and you're static, I want you to start rewarding for calmer behaviors.
Place.
Because standing is, she's confined, she's restrained, that's good, but it's still a little easier to be aroused if you're standing than if you're sitting, and obviously laying down is as relaxed as it gets. That's why they sleep that way. They don't sleep standing up. They're not horses. So that's something I want you to think about. And then, once you've been doing that for a while, and you notice she's getting on the bed and almost immediately laying down, I want you to add a little bit more chaos to your session, where, if you've got the kids home, or, your husband's home, have a game where he's milling out somewhere and be like, hey, I'm going to start working place with Mia in 10-15 minutes. Can you ring the doorbell? Can you knock on the door? it's that surprise where companies to make sure as soon as she steps off, we're letting her know no, so she's made a mistake. So you can tell her place and feed her, but don't release her this time. This time I want you to just come all the way out to the end of your leash.
Tell her place.
You can remind her place as you walk away. That's fine. And then step out. So no. And then bring her right back on. Remind her place. And now we're just going to step right back out again. And this is because we're challenging her a little bit because we know motion creates motion. She's like, you go away, I follow. You go away, I follow. So now go back to her. And then you can say place, put a piece of food down, and then step out again.
Place.
Good girl. Awesome. Now this time when you return to her, I want you to say good, and then put the food down.
Not P-O-A-C-E.
Nope, just good. You can go back to her.
Good.
Awesome. Alright, so now you can say place and then step back out.
Place.
So anytime we have a picture change or a distraction, we can always remind them what it is that we want them to do. So this time when you return back to her, I want you to say the word before you come back to her.
P-O-A-C-E.
G-O-O-D.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because all we're doing here is we're building a little bit of duration.
Yeah.
So even now, we've been out a good 10, 15 seconds with nothing going on.
Good.
Awesome. And this is kind of what I want you to see. So now we already have a dog that's sitting, hanging out, relatively calm, as opposed to the standing and rotating, which is a good first step.
Okay.
But now I think you probably don't even need the 2 days of skipping corners with how great she's doing right now.
Yeah.
As long as we're saying G-O-O-D, then coming back to her,
Good.
rewarding, and then reminding her the command when we're stepping out. My goal for you before our next lesson, our final of the 3, is to get her to the point where she can be on place for an entire commercial break, let's say. Because that's something where nobody likes the commercials, nobody watches the commercials, they're like, oh, come on. But they're about 5 minutes long. So if we're at that point where we can already get her on it for a minute, I think getting her up to the 5-minute mark in a week is absolutely doable.
Okay. So now I'm saying
So place
again.
and then step
Place.
out. Being a little bit firmer is easier to do by having that slack to have the tension mean something a little bit more meaningful. It was good though. She did good. She did great with the knots. I only heard 2 little struggles.
Yeah.
I tried not to talk so you could do your thing and just listen for when the next spot to roll her in was.
Good.
But that was awesome.
Place.